Hey guys, welcome back to Painting the Problems, and today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the most popular subjects in the media right now, which is climate change, and what is happening exactly with it. Now before I get into it, what actually is climate change?
Climate change is the change in weather patterns across the globe, caused by global warming and the greenhouse effect. Global warming itself is the rapid heating of Earth's atmosphere due to large amounts of carbon emissions into the air, which results in the thinning of the ozone layer. Essentially, because of this, Arctic glaciers are melting, habitats are being destroyed, and weather patterns that scientists have known for centuries are being completely messed up. Human waste is also being spilled into oceans, killing many sea animals and releasing plastic toxins into the water, which gives them birth defects. Air pollution caused by burning fossil fuels also gives us human health issues, specifically lung problems like asthma, which are becoming more and more common with kids these days. While the causes and effects of climate change are prominent, many people don't care nor think it's a real thing. A lot of other people also don't find the issue important in relation to other economic issues. However, the party which promised some more climate action won. The Liberals won more seats than the Conservatives, and the Green Party even won one. But why did they? Well, the federal government put into effect the CEPA Act, which regulates how Canadians dispose of their waste. The government also introduced the carbon tax, which taxes companies for burning fossil fuels and creating more carbon emissions. Municipal governments even put the problem on the people, with street cleaning and recycling programs. But when it comes to provincial governments, they're mostly divided between the East and the West based on how much their economy is affected by the carbon tax. The East mostly supports the carbon tax, while the West rejects it, because of how the economy here is based on fossil fuels and oil, and how the carbon tax would make it harder for the economy to thrive. The economy in the West has already hit a pretty low point, and the carbon tax only makes it harder for Albertans to get jobs. As for what the people think, we're once again facing that division between the East and the West. Out here in Alberta, most adults recognize climate change, but value the prosperity of our economy more since most of their jobs are based around oil. Scientists are trying the best they can to persuade the government to value the environment more, but once again, the government here values the economy. Youth are also getting involved in climate action, and kids go to Fridays for Future protests every week. The protests are held by Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old climate activist who uses the media to help get her message across. She's very successful and even got to speak at the United Nations conference in September about how countries need to switch energy sources to help save the planet from facing a more extreme climate crisis. While a lot of people think her message is great, adults call her ungrateful, and Piers Morgan even called her out in his show for being a little extreme by accusing older generations of not caring about the future and saying how dare you to a group of people who gave her modern technologies. But that's not the only controversy that she's faced. A few weeks ago, she came to Edmonton to lead a protest, and many people questioned how she came on a fuel-burning boat to a country that is already working hard to solve the climate problem. Overall, her message seems innocent, just some people find it a little questionable. But she's not the only influencer speaking out about global warming. Leonardo DiCaprio also gave a speech to the United Nations in 2017, talking about how he's seen the effects of climate change firsthand and wants to put a stop to them. His speech got a much more positive response from adults, and whether it's because of his age or the way he said it, I can't really tell. Overall, climate change is still a touchy subject between different political perspectives. On the one hand, people want the best for their economy, but on the other, people just want a future. While some politicians don't believe in global warming, others are still taking action. German Chancellor Angela Merkel doubled the country's financial commitment to fight global warming to 4 billion euros, while the French president pledged 5 million in additional aid to protect tropical forests. But on a smaller scale, what can you do? First, you can reduce your disposable plastics like water bottles and grocery bags and switch to more reusable options. You can also use energy wisely, like converting to energy-efficient light bulbs, looking out for the Energy Star label on products, and unplugging devices when they're not in use. You can also try eating organic foods or growing your own. And finally, try commuting using transit, carpooling, biking, or walking.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Painting the Problems, and as always, let us know down below what you think about climate change. Do you think it's an important subject, or would you rather value your economy over it? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week on Painting the Problems. Bye!